Hello, thanks for watching or listening, depending on your platform. I'm Lucas Kitchen. I'm so glad that you're with me. I want to talk about this today. Why can't I delete a text message? Have you ever noticed this? I was texting with my father-in-law the other day. That's right, my in-laws and my parents know how to text. I think it's pretty cool. We were texting back and forth, and he had a typo of some kind, and he said, delete those last 3 words. And I said, well, I'd have to have the source code to the internet because you can't delete text messages. And then I thought, why can't you delete text messages? Well, you couldn't until just recently. Apple is releasing in, I think it's iOS 16, a new feature in which you can delete text messages, sort of. You can unsend a text message for up to 2 minutes after you send it, and then for 15 whole minutes, you can actually edit that text message. This should take care of typos and things like that, but it's not really designed to make it where you can eliminate the record of what you've said. Now, why is that? Well, the reason for that is because when you say something or text something, as long as it is in your mind or in your private archive, so to speak, it belongs to you. But as soon as you send it out into the world or say it to another person, it becomes conversation. And conversation is shared property, not private property. Now, you can imagine a situation where this really would matter. For instance, let's say someone says something to you or texts you something that is criminal level dangerous. Well, that incriminating information is your property, and it's your right to keep that as evidence in case you ever really are put in danger. There are a million situations where it's pretty important that you can't delete text messages or other types of messages. And so there is going to continue to be this record kept of that type of material. Now, this is true. It mirrors what actually happens in the real world. And you're probably thinking, well, it's 2022. Why can't we just change it? Well, it's because we can't change the fundamental nature of human conversation. Once you say something in the real world with your mouth to another person, even though there might not be a written record of that, that then becomes shared property. That is conversation. So anything you say to another human being, it can't be taken back. In terms of how the space-time continuum works, that will always have been what you said to that person. And that is something very important to remember. In fact, it brings up a couple of verses that came to mind this morning as I was thinking about this subject. Here's one from James 1:19. Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. What he's telling us is slow down. When you feel like saying something, now this applies on social media, it applies in text messages, but it also applies in person. If there's something you are tempted to say and you have a sense you shouldn't say it, slow down. Think about what you're about to say. Now, this is how Christians ought to live, right? This is how believers ought to interact with each other and with the world. Think about what it says in Galatians, show kindness to everyone, but especially the household of the faith. Here's what Matthew 12:36 says, every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. It's basically like he's saying, if you decide not to be slow to speak and you just say whatever you want, watch out because you will give an account. Now, for unbelievers, they'll give an account at the great white throne judgment according to the book of Revelation. But for believers, for a Christian, if you're a Christian, if you've believed in Jesus, then you will give your account at the judgment seat of Christ. That's a moment in history where all Christians will talk to the Lord about how they lived their life. And one of the categories that he's going to cover is what are the things that you said. And those things that you said and those actions that you took, they will be rewarded. Now, by the way, I've got a book on this subject. Oh, it's upside down. I've got a book on this subject called Eternal Rewards. You can get that book anywhere where you get your books, Amazon, but you can come and get a free copy. You can download a free copy. I said that. You can download a free copy at freegrace.in. So come on over, take a look at that. But that book talks about the fact that we will be rewarded based on how we perform in this life as Christians. So if you're a Christian, a big category that you need to be thinking about is what you say. So as you go through your day today, Think about those moments where you can slow down a little bit and consider the words that come out of your mouth. I know that I need that, and I suspect you need it too. Well, thanks for watching. I'll be back with you soon.